all excellencies here present, ladies, gentlemen, and members of the media. On behalf of the United World Congress of Diplomats, UNWCD, I welcome you all to this international press conference where we will be discussing political interference by judicial officers in Nigeria and the need to sanction those who are concerned. We have received reports from some states in Nigeria, such as Rivers State, the undue interference of judicial workers, especially judges, on political issues, where conflicting orders were issued by judges just to frustrate democracy. In Osun State, there was also a conflict state high court order and appeal court judgment over the dissolutions of local government council chairmen and their restatement and a fresh election by the state electoral empire. The most recent ones, and even worrisome of all, is the political interference by Benue State Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Ipambese, when he tried to undermine justice by granting waiver to petitioners of local government election tribunal not to pay security deposits as stipulated by law. This is not augur well for African democracy. These behaviors are completely against core objective of the African Charter on democracy, elections, and governance, which are to promote adherence by each state party to the universal values and principle of democracy and respect for human rights, and also the principle of rule of law, premises upon the respect for and the supremacy of the Constitution and constitutional order in the political arrangement of the state party, which is Nigeria in the case study. The Benue Chief Judge, the registrars of the court, the current minority leader, and all those who supported the actions of the Chief Judge publicly to the sanctions and have their existing visas cancelled and visas has been issued against them, and banned has been issued against them, just as we advocated in the case of Rivers State and ANEC officials who purportedly sabotaged democratic principle during elections. The Benue State is of particular interest to the international communities, which is the reason why we are granting this press conference. You also agree with me that the state had been under security threats, which led to the internally displaced person camp, IDPs across the state. The Benue State has the highest number of IDP, and this is worrisome to the state, and of course to even the Africa as a continent. The human rights community has worried that should the world allow judicial officers to destroy institutions like a democracy and rule of law, the state will find it more difficult to develop. And of course, it also undermined the process that the continent is being put in place in achieving the AU Agenda 2063. We have it in good authority that the National Judiciary Council is yet to even constitute investigative panel to unravel the allegations against the Chief Judge. A resolution posted by the Benue State legislative arms of the government, which recommended outright removal of the Chief Judge from office. We believe by now that the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, who is also the Attorney General, who is a proactive officer, should have set up a probe panel to immediately investigate the Chief Judge, even if the NJC is not willing to investigate the previous petitions against the CJ. The recent one posed by the State House of Assembly and forwarded by the Benue State government to the NJC should have been under investigated by now. In light of the reaction from the Nigeria's Bar Association, NBA, and the National Judiciary Council's NJC, we urge caution and restraint in passing judgment before a thorough investigation is conducted. The presumptions of innocence and due process must guide our approach to address the allegation of judiciary misconduct. As the international community observed this development, we emphasize the importance of upholding the rule of law and ensuring accountability for all public officials, including judges. Any act of misconduct or abuse of power must be met with swift and decisive actions to maintain public trust and confidence in the judiciary. We can assure you that we will continue to monitor the situation closely and advocate the ethical governance practices in Nigeria and even beyond. Our demands are as follows. 1, we call on all stakeholders to prioritize the interests of justice, transparency, and accountability in their actions and decisions, upholding the rule of law and respecting the independence of the judiciary and fundamental to a functioning democracy and the protection of citizen rights without political interference. 2, we urge the National Judiciary Council, NJC, and the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, to act in accordance with the truth and uphold the rule of law by condemning any illegal actions committed by any civil judge, rather than endorsing or supporting any questionable conduct. 3, we call on the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation to initiate an independent panel to thoroughly investigate the allegation of financial irregularities, and breach of ethical standards attributed to the chief judge, IPOB. It is an essential to ensure that due process is followed and that justice is served in the interest of public trust and accountability. 4, we implore the executive governor of the Benue State to speedily appoint an acting chief judge to prevent a vacuum in the judiciary and uphold the uninterrupted delivery of justice to citizens of Benue State, ensuring stability and continuity within the judicial system. This is crucial for safeguarding the rights and interests of the people of the state. 5, which is the last one, and finally, we call for total reform of the Nigeria judiciary to rebuild the confidence of Nigeria. We do say that the court is the last hope for common man. In the light of this critical development, it is imperative that all stakeholders involved uphold the principle of transparency, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. The integrity of the judiciary must be preserved through fair and impartial investigations, decisive actions against misconduct, and responsible for governance practices. The United World Congress of Diplomats, UNWCD, in collaboration with the International Institute of Experts on Political, Economic, and Administration, remain committed to promoting ethical governance, legal compliance, and institutional integrity in Nigeria and Africa and even beyond, and wish to appeal to public office holder to note that public office is given to them in trust and to be guided by the oaths of office and allegiances to the government and the people. We want to sincerely appreciate you all for stand for justice, equity, and fairness, and for your time to be here. Thank you very much.